My name is Rachel, and I never thought the happiest day of my life would turn into a nightmare. I'd just given birth to my daughter Emma 6 hours earlier when my father-in-law Richard walked into my hospital room with papers in his hand and hatred in his eyes. "Rachel, we need to talk," Richard said, closing the door behind him. "Where's Mark?" I asked, looking for my husband. "Is he parking the car?" "Mark's not coming," he replied coldly. "He's at my house, and he's staying there." I felt my heart drop. "What are you talking about? He was here this morning. He held Emma—" That was before I explained some things to him. Richard interrupted, moving closer to my bed. "About how you've been lying to our family." "Lying? Richard, I just had a baby. What are you—" He grabbed my arm, hard enough to leave marks. "Sign this," he said, shoving papers in my face. "Sign it now, or you'll never see your baby again." I tried to pull away. "Let go of me. What is this?" "Temporary custody papers," he said. "You're signing Emma over to me and my wife until you recover. That's what happens when mothers are deemed unfit." "Unfit? I'm perfectly capable of—" "Are you?" he sneered. "Mark told me all about your postpartum depression screening. Those answers you gave, they indicate severe mental instability." "That's a routine screening. Every new mother takes it," I said, my voice shaking. "The doctor said my answers were completely normal." Richard's grip tightened. "But Mark doesn't know that. He thinks you're dangerous. He thinks you might hurt Emma." "You're lying," I whispered, though fear crept through me. "Mark would never believe that." "Wouldn't he?" Richard pulled out his phone, showing me texts. "These are from Mark. He's terrified, Rachel. He's asking me to protect his daughter." I read the messages, my blood running cold. They were from Mark's number, talking about my concerning behavior and asking his father for help. "You wrote those," I said. "Mark didn't send those." "Prove it," Richard challenged. "Right now, it's my word against yours. I'm a retired judge with 40 years of legal experience. You're a first-time mother who scored high on a depression screening." "I didn't score high. That's not—" "Who's going to believe you?" he asked. "Sign the papers, Rachel. Make this easy. We'll take good care of Emma while you get the help you need. Maybe in 6 months, a year, you can have supervised visits." "This is kidnapping," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "You're trying to steal my baby." Richard laughed. "I'm protecting my granddaughter from an unstable mother. That's what any court will see." He pushed the papers closer. "Sign, or I walk out of here with Emma right now. Hospital security won't stop a concerned grandfather, especially not one who used to sit on the family court bench." "I want to talk to Mark," I demanded. "I want to hear this from him." "Mark's made his choice," Richard said. "He's chosen his daughter's safety. Now sign or lose her forever." My hands shook as I looked at the papers. "I need to read these first." "You have 2 minutes," Richard said, glancing at his watch. "Then I'm taking Emma with or without your signature." That's when I realized he'd planned this perfectly. Post-birth, exhausted, emotional, and alone. He thought I was helpless. He was wrong. I pretended to read the papers while my mind raced. "These need to be notarized," I said slowly. "They're not legal without—" "I have a notary waiting," Richard interrupted. "Right down the hall. Sign now." "I need my phone," I said, "to call Mark, to hear this from him." Richard smiled coldly. "Your phone died, remember? The charger's in Mark's car." He pulled my phone from his pocket, showing me the black screen. Convenient. But he didn't know I'd borrowed a tablet from the nurse earlier to video call my mom. It was still under my pillow. "Fine," I said, taking the pen with trembling hands. "But I want to see Emma one more time before I sign." "No games, Rachel." "I just gave birth to her," I cried, letting real tears fall. "Please, Richard, let me hold her once before you take her away." He hesitated, then nodded. 5 minutes, but I'm watching." The moment he left to get Emma from the nursery, I grabbed the tablet and called my sister Jennifer. "Jen, I need help," I whispered urgently. "Richard is trying to take Emma. He has fake custody papers. He grabbed my arm and he's threatening me." "What? Rachel, slow down." "No time," I said. "He's coming back. I need you to do 3 things right now. Call Mark and tell him to get to the hospital immediately. Call Mom and have her come here with her phone to record everything. And call Amanda Chen." "Your law school friend Amanda? The one who does family law?" "Yes, tell her it's an emergency. Richard used to be a judge. He knows exactly what he's doing. I need help now." "I'm 10 minutes away," Jennifer said. "Don't sign anything. I'm calling everyone right now." I hid the tablet seconds before Richard returned carrying Emma, my beautiful daughter, sleeping peacefully, unaware of the battle being fought over her. Hold her, Richard said, placing Emma in my arms. Say goodbye. I looked down at my baby, and something hardened inside me. No, I said quietly. No? Richard's face darkened. What did you say? I said no, I repeated, louder this time. I'm not signing anything. You can't make me. You stupid girl, he hissed. Do you know what I can do? I have connections in every courthouse in this state. I'll bury you. Then bury me, I said, holding Emma closer, but I'm not giving you my daughter. Richard lunged for Emma, but the door burst open. Jennifer ran in, phone raised and recording. Don't you touch her, Jennifer shouted. I've got everything on video, you psycho. Get out, Richard demanded. This is a private family matter. Private? Jennifer laughed. You just tried to physically take a baby from her mother. That's not private, that's criminal. Jennifer, where's Mark? I asked, still holding Emma protectively. On his way. I talked to him, Rachel. He has no idea what his father's doing. He never sent those texts. Richard's face went pale. That's impossible. You showed her fake texts, Jennifer said. Mark's phone has been off all morning because he was running errands. He never said Rachel was unstable. He never asked you to take Emma. You made it all up. You can't prove that, Richard said, but his confidence was cracking. Actually, a new voice said from the doorway, we can. Amanda Chen, my attorney friend, walked in with a hospital security guard and a police officer. Rachel, I'm Officer Thompson, the policeman said. Your sister called about a custody interference situation. What happened here? I shifted Emma protectively. My father-in-law tried to force me to sign custody papers. He grabbed my arm and threatened that I'd never see my baby again. That's not true, Richard protested. She's mentally unstable. Show him your arm, Rachel, Amanda said calmly. I extended my arm. Clear fingerprint bruises were already forming where Richard had grabbed me. That's assault, Officer Thompson said. Mr. Parker, step away from the patient. I'm a retired family court judge, Richard sputtered. I know the law. Then you know coercing someone to sign documents under duress is illegal, Amanda interrupted, as is assault and attempting to remove a minor from their legal guardian. Her depression screening proves she's unfit, Richard insisted. Actually, it doesn't, Dr. Patel said, entering the room. I'm Rachel's obstetrician. Her screening showed no signs of postpartum depression or psychosis. Everything was completely normal. Here are the official results. She handed papers to Officer Thompson. Mr. Parker, did you misrepresent these medical results? The officer asked. Richard's face flushed. I interpreted them correctly. You lied, I said. To me and to Mark. Why would you do this? Because she's a Parker, Richard exploded. Emma deserves to be raised by Parkers, not by some nobody who trapped my son into marriage. Mark could have had anyone, someone with connections, money, status. Instead, he chose you. Dad? Mark's voice came from the doorway. He stood there, pale and shocked. What are you saying? Mark, thank God, I said. Your father tried to... I heard everything, Mark said, walking to my side. Mom called and told me. Dad, you tried to take my daughter? I was protecting our family legacy, Richard insisted. These texts from your phone, Officer Thompson said, showing Mark the messages. Did you send them? Mark read them, his jaw clenching. No, my phone's been off all morning. I was picking up Emma's crib. He looked at his father. You have my old phone, the one I gave you last month. You kept it logged into my accounts. That's identity fraud, Amanda said. Officer, add that to the charges. Charges? Richard backed up. This is a misunderstanding. No, Mark said firmly. Officer Thompson, I want to press charges for everything. Identity fraud, assault, attempted kidnapping, all of it. I want him arrested too, I added. And I want a restraining order. He's never getting near Emma again. Mr. Parker, you're under arrest, Officer Thompson said, pulling out handcuffs. Assault, attempted custodial interference, coercion, and identity fraud. You have the right to remain silent. You can't do this, Richard shouted. I'm respected in this community. You were respected, Amanda corrected. Now you're a criminal. My mother stepped forward, holding up her phone. I recorded everything from the hallway, his assault, his threats, his confession, all of it. I'll sue every one of you, Richard yelled as Officer Thompson handcuffed him. Try it, I said coldly. I'm filing a civil suit too, for emotional distress and attempted parental alienation. As they led Richard away, his screaming echoed down the corridor. Mark sat beside me, gently touching Emma's tiny hand. I'm so sorry, he said. I never thought he could do something like this. He planned it perfectly, I said. He waited until I was vulnerable, but he underestimated me. 3 months later, I stood in the courtroom as Judge Morrison delivered Richard's sentence. Mark sat beside me holding Emma, while Jennifer, my mom, and Amanda filled the row behind us. "Mr. Parker," Judge Morrison said, "in 30 years on this bench, I've rarely seen such calculated manipulation. You used your former position to intimidate a vulnerable new mother. You fabricated evidence, committed identity fraud, and assaulted her. And why? Because you deemed her unworthy of your family name. Your Honor, my client acted out of concern," Richard's attorney began. "Your client acted out of elitism and cruelty," the judge interrupted. "The evidence is overwhelming. Video of the assault, medical testimony proving he lied, proof of identity fraud, and his own recorded confession." Richard sat slumped, defeated. His wife had divorced him. His consulting contract was terminated. The Bar Association had launched an ethics investigation. "For assault, 1 year in county jail," Judge Morrison continued. "For attempted custodial interference, 2 additional years. For identity fraud and coercion, 1 more year, 4 years total, consecutive sentences." I squeezed Mark's hand. Emma gurgled happily, oblivious to the justice being served. "I'm also granting the permanent restraining order," the judge said. "No contact with Rachel, Mark, or Emma Parker for life. Any violation will result in additional charges. You'll also pay $50,000 in restitution for emotional distress and legal fees." After the sentencing, Amanda hugged me outside the courthouse. "You did it. You protected your daughter." "We did it," I corrected. "I couldn't have won without all of you." Mark kissed Emma's forehead. "I still can't believe he did this." "He thought I was weak," I said. "He waited for the perfect moment, when I was exhausted and vulnerable, but he was wrong." "You're the strongest person I know," Mark said. "You fought back the right way, through the law, not revenge." 2 weeks later, our story aired on the evening news as the hospital custody scandal. I received hundreds of messages from women who'd faced similar manipulation and didn't know they could fight back. I started working with Amanda to create resources for new mothers about their legal rights. We partnered with hospitals to distribute information about recognizing coercive behavior and seeking legal help. Mark and I also entered family therapy. His relationship with his mother was complicated. She claimed ignorance of Richard's plan, but hadn't defended me either. We were working through it for Emma's sake. Richard served his 4 years and was released last month. He lives in another state now, alone and disgraced. His reputation is destroyed. His family wants nothing to do with him. He lost everything because he couldn't accept that his son married someone he deemed beneath him. Meanwhile, Emma just turned 4. She's smart, funny, and completely loved. She doesn't know what happened yet, but when she's old enough, she'll learn that when someone tried to take her away, her mother fought back with everything she had and won. Justice isn't always about revenge. It's about standing up for what's right, protecting the innocent, and ensuring people who abuse their power face real consequences. Richard thought his position made him untouchable. He thought I was too weak to fight. He was wrong on both counts. Looking back, I'm grateful I kept my head that day. I didn't panic. I gathered help. I used the law to protect my family, and I won. Now I help other mothers understand they have that same power. Richard lost his freedom, his reputation, his family, and his dignity. I gained strength, confidence, and the knowledge that I can protect what matters most. That's the difference between someone who manipulates and someone who stands up for justice. Have you ever faced someone who used their power or position to try to control you? What would you have done in my situation? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.